All right, it's power steering time. Oh boy, I don't remember how we did this, but we are going to attempt to put this Toyota electric power steering in there. Basically all in here. We'll see how it goes. I don't remember how to do it. I've put together a plan on how to do it. You know, it's kind of there if you want to try to read that. So we're going to get started with bench testing to make sure it's good and show you how this kind of works. Right now, let's get over on the bench and I'll show you how it works. And it's extremely difficult wiring to do this. No, it's not, or else I wouldn't do it. It's pretty easy, and I've done it before. I've done all this before. I just don't remember how. But I think I got everything together now to do it. This is our simulated Ford Mustang ignition system. Not the motorcycle battery that we're going to use. This is the Toyota power steering ignition computer control module that just hooked into the computer, and I don't know, whatever that is. It's the J-Tech. I don't know what that does. Some kind of sensor, but it. You want to make sure this comes with it, and probably these cables here. Our wiring diagram, this has got to go under the dash, but this goes to the battery, this goes to the battery, this goes to your 12-volt ignition source. So when you turn the key on, this makes the magic happen. I got them clipped together currently, but that's it. That's all you do. Battery, 12-volt ignition. You know, when you turn the ignition, this gets power. That's what I'm saying. That's how you do it. Okay, that's it. That's it. Let's start her up. Let's start the Mustang up. Maybe. Oh, ground's disconnected. So we'll hear it. I'll do it again multiple times here. So I'm gonna click on to here, and then you'll hear that click. That's some roomage. If I could clip that on there. Did you hear that click? Click. Click. So that's what will happen when you turn it on. And then 10 seconds after that, because right now it's like looking for the main computer, doesn't find it, so thinking, oh, something happened, something bad happened. So let's go into fail-safe mode so this poor little Prius can get home. So this turns. This kind of feels normal right now. So you're like, how do you know it's working? You don't. No, you do. So let's do it again. Turn it off. Well, let's get you, so you know how the ignition system works basically now. Key on. So I'm going to get you set up on the tripod, and then we'll show you how you know it's working. So I think what this one is some kind of torque sensor. So right now, oh, kind of bad. There's no power. It's not on. No power, but it feels the same. But I think once you apply torque, just kind of what something's sensing in there, this baby goes to work. So I'm gonna get you set up, and I'll try to show you what it means. I don't know why the display looks funny. All the icons are over here on the right now. I don't know why, but whatever. So right now, see, I can hold this with my steering wheel, but I can stop it. I mean, because I got leverage. I can't turn that. So we're going to turn it on and see what happens. Here we go. Turning the Mustang on. Still can't do nothing. Can't do nothing. Can't do nothing. Well, there we go. There it's on. I cannot stop this. Two fingers. It will turn anything. Like right now it feels the same. There's no pressure from the tires. So this torque thing is just like, yeah, I don't even need the motor. Let's say you got big fat tires on here. That thing kicks in, you cannot stop it. That's fingers. I can't stop it no matter what I do. So once it senses there's some torque on this, that thing kicks in. That's how it works. So we know it's good. She's got some torque. That's why on the 65, I don't know, one of the other videos, the strap broke. There's some torque that you got to keep this motor locked because it's wanting to spin. So we're gonna have to figure that out on the 67 because it's different under the dash. Hoping one of these brackets will work to lock her down, but we'll get into that where it goes later. But for now, we know it's good. Basically 3 wires is all I added. 2 to the battery, well, ground power to the battery, and then an ignition. That's it. That's all you need. Let's see what we unhook it. You'll hear it unhook. Click. I can almost stop that with my hand. I definitely can't with 2 fingers. One more time, because it's kind of fun. Click. Can't do nothing. There it goes. Fingers, I cannot stop that with my fingers. She's good. I was gonna run this steering wheel, so let's go back around the other side and I'll show you about that little experiment. So we're not running this, we're gonna run the original. Ignition off. Clicks. No more power being used. So this little guy, I was gonna use this steering wheel because it is super comfy, really comfy. Toyota knows how to make stuff. So I figured out a way. I figured out the wiring of the blinker. This is all upside down, by the way. It should go like that. So that would be a right turn, I think. Yeah, right turn, left turn. So I figured out that through the pins, how to make that work with the existing flasher or turn signal system. Then 67, I think late 66 is what I found out, is flashers, like emergency flashers. That was required. So somewhere in there, I think the switch is missing in this one, of course. But somewhere in there should be an emergency flasher thingy in there. Just trying to figure out how to make this work with that and kind of set that aside and then move to the horn. I was like, I wonder how this horn works. You know, it's pretty much the same thing as the Mustang, actually. It's got this spinny thing in here that makes contact, so you're able to turn the steering wheel and have these cables work. I was trying to figure that out, where the horn button is and what makes contact. I got to poking around in here and I was like, there's a fully connected airbag still in this. So I was like, oh man, I don't want to be applying voltages to things with that live airbag in there. Let me get it. Still scares the bejeebies out of me. That went in there and you honk honk. So I was trying to figure out how the honk honk works. I had to look and I was like, man, there's an airbag in there. So we got a fully engaged airbag with this. I don't think you're supposed to ship that through the post office or the UPS or wherever I got this through. I'm not supposed to ship that through there, I don't think, but we got one. So I abandoned using this because I just wanted this out of here. So I got scared of it. It had all the cables that were all, I just cut them all out because I'll reuse them for something else. But yeah, it was fully hooked up, everything. All the wiring was hooked up on this. She was live. Glad I didn't put voltages on that anywhere. It still scares me. I might have to blow that up someday. I don't know, have somebody sit on it like they do on YouTube. So we're not gonna use that. We are gonna use the original one, steering wheel. So I did the same thing on the 65. This is the tip from its system, Prius system. I cut it off. This is the same tip. So that's where I cut it off, and then I cut the tip off the 65 shaft and replaced it, if that made any sense. We'll see with this. But we're gonna cut this tip off, cut the shaft off the 67, weld them together, and then you can put the 67 stuff onto this. This is from the 65. It's where you cut it, apparently. I don't remember doing it, but that's where you cut it. So we are gonna, let's see. I have a plan over there on the cowl. Let's see. Bench test, check. Oh yeah, dang, good thing I made a list. We have to clean. I haven't been inside of this in a minute. And it is filthy in there. So I'm gonna vacuum all this out because I cleaned the cowls, air, and it blew everything in there through the vents, which I'll get you under there and show you. But I'm gonna vacuum all this out and get that ready to seal. And I'd like to seal that cowl vent that you can get at, the fresh air vent that's up in there under the dash. There seems to be a lot of room under the 67 dash that was not in the 65. The 65's little motor there is clocked that way under the dash. This one has I think the washer motor or the wiper motor is right in the way, so it's gonna have to be clocked somewhere up that way, but it's all open pretty much under there. Well, the cowl vent, fresh air vent, is not in, so that's one reason it's all open. I'll show you my upgraded rust reformer tip that I just created from my WD-40, which should be able to seal that cowl. You'll see what I mean. All right, got it vacuumed out. Looks a little better. Got some more sealing to do. This welding burns are from when we welded the underside and sealed all that up. So we gotta reseal this because I did it too early. That's pretty tough. A lot of layers on there, paint stuff, so should be. But this up here is what I'm talking about. Needs some attention. I think it's pretty solid. A lot of surface rust. That's the fresh air vent. So I wonder how far that comes down, because this is the area on the 65 where the motor went up into, but I can't because that wiper motor is right there. It's not going that way. Gotta go in probably this, I'm guessing probably just level with this right in our emergency brake area. So we'll have to figure out another way for that to work. I bet that fresh air vent comes down probably there too, so probably don't want to go too far up in there. I guess we could shorten the fresh air vent if we had to. Maybe we should put that back. One thing leads to another. So anyway, I'm going to wire brush that and seal that area, because we'll hopefully never be back up in there again. And I'll show you what I mean by my rust reformer sprayer that I've upgraded to version 2.0 and how we're going to use it on that. So this is our rust reformer that I've used everywhere on this. I usually use this guy to get in the areas, you know, everywhere. But look at this, because it's a WD-40 tip or something, and I can't remember what these, where I have these red tips from, but anyway, this is from another WD-40 cam with this super bendy 4000er, so it sprays in any direction you want, or drips wherever you want. So I am going to, after I wire brush that, use this contraption to kind of reach over that edge, spraying around the edge. Look at that, what a great contraption. The old elephant trunk rust reformer 2000 WD-40. It's good for everything. I just don't want that to plug up. I'm gonna wire brush and clean, and then do that. Probably get the stinking fresh air vent down from wherever that is. I don't know where it is, but we'll find that, because we'll probably need it to function. Because yeah, this was an original AC car. Not no more. So we need that fresh air vent to cool us in certain areas right here. All right, got her all cleaned up and painted. Looking brand new. I just used the Rust-Oleum that I use on everything. The gasket was in surprisingly good shape. Can't believe it. That's probably original. So we reused it, cleaned, just spray painted it with the Rust-Oleum. And I got started and got gung-ho. So I just set it on here around the outside screw holes. Apparently there's 4. I have 3. nuts. So that's fine. Anyway, so I'm just estimating the hole. I'll never find anything perfect. I'm gonna make 2 of these, one for the other side. Oh no, yeah, so what does go over there? Actually, the heater box goes over there, so maybe we'll just make 1 of these. We're gonna have to buy a heater box rebuild kit. It should have it. If not, then we'll make another one. Got it all sealed up. Painted up everywhere. You can kind of get at. Looks better. Seam sealer, doing stuff. Really thick everywhere because I don't want to go up there again. So I'm going to put the mint back in off camera because it's a struggle. And then I'll bring you back. And we'll try to get some steering wheels disassembled. Okay, we have our fresh air vent installed. It took up 95% of the space that I thought I had. So that's great. But step 2 on our plan is done. Clean and seal. So it's pretty sealed up over there, which is good. Ignore that area for now, but we probably will have to because I'm not sure where this thing's gonna go. Look at all them white wires. Why would Ford use all white wires? Boy, that's fun. We're gonna try to figure out that thing, how to get that off of there. I have no idea. And get that off of there. Get steering wheels changed. Or removed at least. Did a quick Google search. It says I guess it's just locked on there. I don't know. It says you push and twist at 20 degrees. I don't remember which way. Push! Wow, looky there. Looky there. The gigantic button. 67. It's all that stuff. A lot of pieces to that. Well, that was easy. It just locks on there. Done. So then we got to loosen that. Yank that. It's got cracks. I wonder if that matters anything. I wonder if something went in there. It's kind of cracked up. I do have the 65 steering wheel over there. It surely fits. So you get him off. I need a puller. Ever been off. Alright, we have the whatever that is. What is it? I don't know. How does the horn work? I don't know what that is. Got an inch socket and a steering wheel puller. Gotta find. Let me go find that, and then we could pop him off. Maybe disconnect some stuff. Get that tube out would be good. Let's do that. I gotta go get the puller that's up there. Right up there in that box. Oh, well, maybe. Nope. Nope. Gosh, dang it. That came off rather easy. Okay, that didn't budge. Can we rig up something here? Maybe. Ziploc bag in there for some reason. See if this kit still works. I don't feel great. Alright, I figure out what size and bolt that is and see how many I don't have. Let's take you down to shortness. Don't lose you, because I'm sure you're some weird Ford size. Oh, I got the idler arm in for the steering on the workbench. Came in on shortly, but the nuts for that strut rod are still coming. Are you long enough? Please tell me. Nope. Gummit. I need longer ones of these. Whatever size this is. Won't reach. I have to go to the hardware store. I need longer of those. It doesn't reach. Finer threads than the 65. Why, Ford? Why? Why do you do this to me? I need longer ones. Stinking Fords. Don't lose this. I'll check, see if I need longer ones, but you need a longer one of these to fit in there to pull that sucker off. Oh, no, you don't. You just do that. Just do that. Screw the hardware store. No, don't screw it. Just give them money because they need money too. Okay, that's how you do it. Just wiggle it. That's that stuff. Grease, some old greases. So we need this tappage, spring, something. There's some stuff in there. Honk, honk. Guess it still works, but man, what is that stuff? It's dust and grease. How'd that come out of there? Them screw. But we need all that stuff. So I think we'll unhook there should be a harness connection for all these white wires. Hang it, Ford. Why you paint them all white? You didn't up here. Just messing, just messing. So we got the nut. Well, we had the nut. Springage still seems good. So I'm gonna go unhook that from something. Undo these three, and that should pull the blinker switch, turn signal switch. I thought there was something on the steering wheel that kicked this. Like that. Like that. Like that. Oh man, she is crispy. Probably invest in a new turn signal switch, but I won't. But how does that turn back? There usually is some, well, I could look at that one. I know there is on that one. There's usually like a nub catches these. I don't understand how that would work on this one. Oh yeah, that's how it works. That little pin, I'd say, is pretty important to get right, because it probably slips in there. Your steering wheel clicks it, and then it breaks it. So we're just cruising, cruising down the road, cruising, turn right, turning right. Oh, big right turn, big right turn. All right, turning left. Boom, kicks it off. That's how that works. It still works. So that's interesting change. All right, I'm gonna disconnect that and then get a screwdriver and so I can pull that wire edge out of there. And then hopefully we can get the tube out of there. So this is the steering column harness. It's white. Whoa. Whoa. She is old. Whoa, it sounded terrible. There's not a battery hooked up. Why would it sound like it's shorting? It's wireless. Well, how do you get it off? I love plastic, especially 60-year-old plastic. Oh, there we go. Whew. I don't need all that in there. It's fine. Okay. Turn signal. I'd like to repopulate those colors nicely. Need that no more. Terrible. Might be able to undo this. I have it right here. I do. Well, let's just undo you since I'm all cockeyed right here. Still don't have a key for this. How do you remedy that? I don't know. Their nut up there turning. Okay, back to this. Since that failed. But we got to get that off somehow, because this is going to be our mounting point for our Toyota. Man, where am I going to put that motor? It might have to go way in there. I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. How would you do the turn signal switch? You're supposed to cut it? If you wanted to replace that, you just cut it and then resolder all the wires back together? I did it on the 65, but I don't remember. I guess figure out how to hold a nut that I can't reach. Some kind of weird stud system that was in there, but it all came out as one. That's loose. That's the bracket things that came out that were holding it. I'm not sure that works. I'm sure there's something up there that's loose and gonna fall out. We won't have it later, but that's fine. How do you get this tube apart? Okay, I don't know. So if you're having a hard time telling, I have no idea what I'm doing. What happens if you do this? Oh, wait. Put that back. There is a nut back there. Nut. One nut. Again, maybe you do have to take that. Let's take that off. See if we can break it. We have to get some kind of electronic cleaner or WD-40. Oh boy, I need some Ziplocs. Turn right. No, turn. Spin you out of the way. Put that back for me. There's one nut back there, see? Probably another one under that. There's a wad of wires. How do you get that out of there? I really don't want to break it. Do you rotate? No. See that nut? There's one there, and there's probably another one right under a whole bunch of wires. Holy cow, it says emergency flashers. How does that work? Never noticed that. Where's the emergency flashers? You do something there. I'm missing something. So it must be a button. Those old wires are so stiff they won't budge. Does anything happen here? Whoa. That's interesting. Does it come loose? Things just happen. Oh yeah. It's loose there. It's spinning on the steering box. Can we just yank it out of there? That would be ideal. What happens here? Oh, yeah. That's how I do it. That's how you do things. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening here though. Here's more bracketage. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Let's go. Oh, how do you get out of there? Just keep coming. Okay, there's more bracketage. Something. Okay. Well, that's how you take the turn signal switch out. You just yank the tube off. Yeah. There we go. There's our emergency flasher switch. I never knew it was there. There's the spear of death. When you remember the crumple zone talk in physics, these often shoot you right in the face and wreck these. It's just a steel rod right at your face. And I'm expecting that's why they put this on here. So it just gives you a broken face instead of a spear through the brain. Which is better. I don't know if that's broke or not. It just somehow engages when you want it to. We got us a tube. That's good. Somehow we need to do something with that because we're gonna have to cut it somewhere. Cut this up. What's all this stuff? Will this come out of there? Yeah, sure. What's this stuff? That looks terrible. What's this? Oh, that's from the end of the tube that was up against the steering box. We got a lot of stuff here. We'll gather it up, get out of here, because this, hopefully we can start measuring. Well, we need to get the other steering wheel off. Then we'll go do that, but this is what we'll cut off. We need this tip on the Toyota. Unless somehow the 67 Mustang blinds are the same as the Toyota. Guess we can try that before we cut. This is what we gotta, man, look at that thing. It is just a steel rod right in your face. A little dangerous. Maybe it's reusable. I mean, look at that. That's fine. Whatever that is. It's asbestos. Ugh. Now let's struggle with this system. Okay, that came off easy. Can we do our same method of wiggling and jiggling it off of here? Need some more leverages. Whoa. Okay, there we go. There's our steering wheel. It's a comfy little devil. But man, look at all that garbage and airbag explosions. Woo. Toyota steering wheel. Gone. Pull up Toyota steering wheel. This fails a lot. Spring switch or something. I don't know. It's always coming up. Some kind of clampage. Old blue. Do your thing. Get off of there. I'm gonna hammer you off. I really don't care at this point. You're gonna get it. I'm serious. I'm serious. That's how I do it. That's how you do a Toyota steering column removal system thing. That is one heck of a clamp. Oh, that hurt. Put that on your radiator hose. It'll never leak. There's that thing. See, I had right and left. I had to, well, don't need that. I had right and left where I was going to wire it in. But glad we're not doing that. That doesn't sound like Toyota quality. All right, let me get the old steering wheel and see if it fits on here. Doubt it. old boy coming in. I think we're hitting on my slip roller. Alright, let's go with that. Let's put you all in one system here. Okay. Whoa! Don't break my old steering wheel. Rubs. It's just a little too big. Why can't Toyota and Ford standardize their stuff? Then we'll be done. Gotta cut stuff. Yeah, that 65 steering wheel over there looks good. Did you see that? No, we're not. We're not. So I cut off that much, which appears to be into this system somehow. Why did I do that? Ah. Okay, don't lose this. The Toyota Epslish Denso Japanese. Okay, that'll make things more manageable. Why did I take this off? There's old grease in there from like 1960s. It smells just like you think a machine shop smells like. I wonder why that is. It's kind of a, I don't know why new comes to my mind, but it's that very distinct smell of a machine shop. That smells like machine shop and spray away glass cleaner. I don't know, I'm weird. So, how did I do that? I don't know. But I need to put the website on. There's a website at the chat forum that they do all this. I think went all the way down. I think what I did, which is why this is off to 65. Battery was dead, sorry. So I think why this is off is I slid this down. Again, it's from that forum on the internet. I think it fits over this pretty tight. And then, so imagine that on there. And you slip this tubage kind of down over it. And you got kind of a nice system. Nice tubage system. That's like that long. Something like that. Cut this. Stick it to that somehow. Can you tell what I'm doing? Can you say it? No. Because I don't even know what I'm doing. Weird bearing in there, I guess. What's that system? That's their bearing, I guess. I would like to leave this, honestly, because it has a real nice bearing in there. There's a bearing right there that sure is nice. I'd probably like to have that instead of that rod just kind of bouncing around like a black 65 Mustangs. Just kind of, you know, it's fine having all that play in your steering wheel. I would like to have that bearing left in there for the shaft to spin on. That works good. I have an old one over here. Let's look at that. See, there's the bearing. It feels terrible, by the way. How did I get this off of this? You just beat it off? It's got little nubs. I would like to leave it. So I think all that would mean is just cut a little shorter, like on this ridge, and weld it here. Put the other nub on the other shaft. We'll figure it out. It'll work. All right, next morning, this is where we're at. I think I am going to try and cut this shaft right about here, just so I can see a little better how we want to orientate this new motor. Everything's floppy and everything's in the way. It's got to get past this, I think, and somewhere. Looks to me like it's going to block our fresh air vent, or it's going to swing over that way, which would be probably, well, I don't know. Anyway, but we got to get this kind of out of our way to where we can see it a little better. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to cut this right about here. That way we can seal the tip later. I'm going to do some more cleaning since we'll have access to this area, at least, and maybe loosen the instrument cluster so we can sand under that without this in our way and without the steering column in our way. So just thinking a little bit ahead. So I'm going to do that off camera, cut, sand, and then we'll see about how we want to put this Toyota in a Ford. Quick update, we got that cut. Then there's only one screw holding this instrument cluster in. Interesting, and it's much more modern than the 65. It's actually got plugs for like a harness. I'm just gonna disconnect those and remove the whole system out of there because it needs cleaned everywhere. I'm gonna sand that down while we have access. De-white, but yeah, that's cool. I didn't know they had actual like wiring harnesses now. New future. All right, back on it. Went ahead and blacked out our tunnel here, steering column tunnel. Can you see that? Yeah, see how black that is? I used the brush on Rust-Oleum to kind of put it where I want to, and it looks really good. And, well, don't put the light on it because then it doesn't look so good. But you know, it's never gonna be like that anyway. Good. Yee. Good. But you got a little more controllability with the brush on. Not hitting everything, you know? Kind of like, well, that. I got it sanded down to where we don't have to fight that. The instrument cluster and all its parts are in the ashtrays and stuff. So we'll box that up and never remember where it is. But this is what I'm thinking. Ugh. It's gotta go somewhere in this area and block my fresh air vent. You know, it'll kind of blow through here and get my toes. I think I gotta cut these off. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Get that all nice. I want to use this tube because of the bearing. And then we'll see how our... Oh, I didn't clean these up. Dang it. Need to clean these up too while they're out. Then we'll see how all this fits. Should go somewhere up there. I'm thinking something like that. I mean, we're getting close. I don't think we're gonna be able to use this. If we do, we'll re-weld it somewhere. But this guy's right in the way. That guy, I don't know what even that is. But we're gonna cut these brackets off. I know. She's warm, but it's not terribly hot. How we fitting? Oh, we're looking better. We're looking better. I mean, we're getting places, I think. Let's get my exhaust piece and see if that was... It's all right, pretty nice. Covers that. And the other tube will go on there. The original tube will fit over this, I think. Let's see if it'll bolt in there somehow. I don't know what this piece was for. I don't know. Just ordered it for no reason, I guess. First, this, and that, and then that. That's what I'm thinking. That's how this went. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Ugh, okay, we'll get all this in there. No, probably not, because I don't even know where it goes. I can't see anything. Oh, wow. Where did it go? Over here. So I need four more hands. Over here. Okay. I'm going to try to do that off camera because I need stuff to happen. It's not happening. I took this nuts off and put the studs in first. I got that nut started. I really need you to get on there. Okay. It's kind of hanging there. Very loose. Perfect. I mean, we'll just push on the motor to do our brakes. Seems fine. I have a feeling I kind of like it there, but I have a wrench. Not the right size. That's Japanese. Are you gonna sit there? Well, I'd leave for a minute. Just sit there. I cleaned all the reds. Clean your nuts, folks. Always keep your nuts clean. It's a little more firm. Let's go back a little. Why don't you go back a little now? Oh, I see. It'll stay there now. There's the little original tab doohickey. The tab doohickey down there. Oh, there it goes. That little tab. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little tab there. That's what it was hooked on. I mean, that's pretty good. Everything just get in the way of the brake pedal. That bracket can come off, I think. Shave that down a little. I think that'll work. We're just blocking our fresh air vent, but it'll work. It'll just cool the power steering motor. I just think that's gonna be too much of the way of the pedals. I don't think it matters where it goes. As long as we lock it down somehow, which will be another project. Let's go take apart. I think that's good. I think that's gonna work fine. That's why, whoa, that's why I wanted to clean all that. Because once we get it in there, we're not gonna be able to do that. Now we can just bet you're dying to know what color it's gonna be. I know what color it's gonna be. We'll see it. Let's go take apart the original turn signals. What's that do for us? Whoa. Sounded terrible, whatever that was. Can we get more wire? Okay, it just loosens that thing. Why would we do that? I have to cut these. How did they do it though? How would Ford done it? It's rattling around somewhere. Oh, it's those nuts. Or bolt. What's that do for us? Nothing. Things spot welded on. That little track. I was hoping that'd push out of the way. They spot weld everything. I kind of remember doing this with the 65. Shoving them back through there and hoping they go. They don't have to go to about here. All right, we're cutting the wires. Cutting. Get rid of all the white we can get rid of though. We're defusing the bomb. Cut the red wire. Clean that up. Now, in theory, should I do that? Now I got something to work with. More parts. Oh, there is actually a bearing in there. How does this work? I kind of need it back on there to test fit. So we cut this. Went right here originally. See some witness marks. And that's the thing that catches. So I think we'd be alright cutting this. Let's just do it. I don't care. Get in late. We just made too much progress today. That's interesting. Didn't expect that. There's the super track. I have a slide for our wires. What's that do for us? Should we go check our Japanese? See if that fits on it? Let's go see. Okay, this give us some more stability. Little tabby catcher. Should be able to slip right onto that tab because I cut it off. Genius. Should be able to. Hopefully. Wow. Uh-oh. Sitting on our wire track. You're kind of getting the idea of what I'm going for, but I tightened it too tight. Can we just pull the thing out of there with the hoop thingy in there? If I have room or not. She's wedged in there. Oh, so close. Oh, I bet that the reason we have the exhaust piece here is to fill up this tube. It's not enough room with the thingy. That thingy. I think we gotta cut the thingy. Oh well, I'm gonna go cut the thingy out of here and then it should work. No, it won't. I weakened the thingy, but we haven't got the thingy out of there. Well, that works. There's the thingy. I have these really sharp tabs. Well, that's fine. It'll cut through the wires just fine. No, we'll clean them up later. Just want to see if it fits. And then we'll probably call it a night and go watch football. Ow! Stab edge. Now will you fit? We might be able to simulate it a little bit here. No, it'll catch the thingy. Start jamming her up here. Oh, that's pretty good. Felt like things happened. I think we're on the thingy. Oh, I got the thingy wrong. Too many thingies going on. Oh, brother. I don't think that should be W or M shaped. Dang it. So that's not hooking that top saddle is upside down. Yeah, let me change that. But you're starting to see what we're going for here. Tip's almost there. That's the Japanese tip. We still got to fix that problem. But yeah, look at that. It looks pretty original. We're getting there. Let me change that saddle around. And then I can show you what we're going for too out of there, why we do that. And why I have that exhaust piece in there. So this is what I was going for. I have no idea if we have to take any more of this off. It might be a little too long. Maybe not. Probably too short. But this is why I had the exhaust tip. And I'm thinking it fills up that tube a little bit. I think we could weld it there to solidify it. But I think it'd be nice to have two of those. One here, welded, firm it up. And another one right there, firming it up. That way it would fill up this end also. Do a little, well, it won't go because of the thingy, but this way will. That way it'd fill it up a little better. Okay, anyway, let's put it back. I'm gonna put that back, and then we'll see how it looks, and then we'll, ow. Okay, I think we got it back in there correctly. How can I get this in there? Yeah, put that in there. Get on there. Get down there. Sure. And this way. Over that thing. There, that looks better. Now can we tighten anything? So I need it like, the motor's gotta go up in the other areas. I'm tightening there. Okay. Tightening, but not on the motor. You still want the slide. Slippity slide. Slide, slide, slippity slide. Oh. Oh. Get on there. I wish you would just sit there. How can I make you just sit there? You sit on your shaft? No. Kinda. That's what we're going for. Right there. Can we see anything? Of course, the wires are right in the way. Fresh air vents right in the way. Always. We can reroute the wires. That bracket can be removed. Should be enough way to get your foot by there to push on a brake, shouldn't it? I wonder if let me get the pointer. So that's what I was talking about. If we had that other exhaust piece in there, it would center it a little better. But we do have this that has a bearing that the shaft will go in. That should center it, the shaft, onto that bearing. So I think we're pretty good. I think we're good. I don't know about the length. We might have to shorten this some. Can we get this on there? What's this do? How's that go? Okay, goes right there. I mean, that's looking pretty original. I mean, if you didn't know, there's a Japanese steering shaft knuckles holding up the Japanese electric power steering. You wouldn't know it was there. I mean, that looks good. Look at that. You wouldn't even know. I think we're pretty good for tonight. And we did all this in a weekend, basically a day. So you can see it's doable. Well, so far it's doable. We ran into some things I wasn't expecting, like the fresh air vent. Had to rebuild it because we never get back in there. Had to clean up around there because I knew we'd never do that. We still have to clean this. It's a lot easier to just paint now. We got that out of there, which was one screw holding it in, and I got plugs now. That's cool. That's pretty good. Let's look at one more thing and we'll call it for the night. So the tip I have marked on the door, as you can see, tip, steering wheel, that's where they were. So the tip's got to come out a ways. That's not good. I hope I didn't cut too much of that off. I wonder how far it was out of there. I have to look back at, like, how far does it come out of here? Anybody remember? I don't. I mean, it wasn't down in there. So it's got to come all the way out. We'll check our witness marks. I mean, it's on that little tabby thing, though. So it's probably in a little bit, but that's fine. I thought it stuck out too far anyway. Because it's on the tabby thing. Tab here, built into this saddle, catches this groove. It's at the end of it. That's pretty good. Now, it can probably go up a little bit. Well, maybe not. It'll go somewhere right there. That's pretty good. So if we, all we got to do is get the tip the right depth in this thing, which I don't know what that is because I don't remember that. But we have video of something, and we have internets that can show us how far the tip comes out. Is it flush with this? Is it flush with that? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. All right, next day, I'm thinking about this, and we should have measured that length to somewhere in the column, which we'll go in and look what I mean, but luckily there's witness marks for the bearing in the steering wheel. So we'll go by that, as that's how far it's supposed to be out of the steering column. Should have measured that, but let's go look at issues in there. When I tighten up the clamp, you can see that lines up a little bit, but we need straightage through there, and that's the bearing, I think, that's rubbing, that would put the witness marks on the tip. We need all this out of here, and we need the tip through that bearing to keep everything centered down the shaft, and then we can figure out if that tightness is going to work, or we need a spacer of some sort. So let's cut the tip off of both of them, implant the 67 tip onto the Toyota, and hopefully it sticks out of this bearing somewhat. So we need a measurement from that tip to the bearing, and then add that to our shaft over there. Clear as mud. You'll see what I mean. Okay, that's what we need to do. I mean, you can tell what's going on there, don't you? No. So this, I couldn't get, there's a lot of tips going on here, so you got to understand which tip I'm talking about. I couldn't get the tip of the tape measure through the bearing, so I ran this down to the tip and marked it right about there. That's where this is being simulated, about like that. So that distance there needs to be added to, so now we have about the same place. So this should protrude, this tip should protrude out this hole about that far. Yeah, probably something like that. And then you put your steering wheel on this, and then it does stuff. Real scientific in this shop. Anyway, this tip lines up with there, which lined up in there. So we need to cut here. Cut that tip off. Cut this tip. Get rid of that tip. Put this tip on that tip. Anybody understand all them tips? That's what we're doing. And then it should stick out that, and this should rotate that. We're going to cut here, move him over, discard him, move him over, weld him on. Also would think I would like to put a tack weld here somewhere. Keep that stabilized. And then we'll put, once we get this in, so that will thicken up that, and we'll either put maybe a rubber gasket to fill it up a little tighter, or run a set screw through those two when they're on to pinch them together. I don't know, something to firm that up a little bit. I think it'll all firm up a little bit once we get this tip back in as bearing this. I think it'll be better. All right, we're gonna cut some tips. We're doing it. Rule 1, start cutting. Tip removed. Hollow tip. Those are lethal. 1 tip cut. Oh, sorry about that. Perfectly flush-ish. Tip 2. Where are we gonna cut it? Be nice to see the mark. There it is. Measure once. Cut once. Not a carpenter. No hollow tip there. Woo! Got us a thumping stick now. Tip. Perfectly straight and balanced. Yeah, whatever. I think it's about welding time. Here's our theories. New steering wheel column for Toyota. Retrofitted to 67 Mustang. Harbor Freight has these little, I don't think, might not work in this, but it's like clamps that, yeah, probably would. That like, or for pipes. They're like $15. It's out of my budget. So I didn't get them. Sure would like to have those right about now. That's it right there. Now we got a Toyota-fied Ford column. Toyord. Buzz these on. Buzz this on. Let's test fit now before we weld. That'd probably be a good idea. That will go there. This does something. Goes in there somehow like a Lego. Backwards. Go this way. There, now it'll do its job. Now put your tips on right. There we go. Better. So that'll stick out like that. Is that how far it was in the previous video? I mean, the steering wheel will definitely go on there. Then yeah, this bearing that crappy, but it does something. And then that goes on there. I think it looks pretty good. It's hard to simulate all this. There'll be a little thread on there. It's close enough. If we have to mill some of this off, I guess it'll be fine. You know, my scientific measuring is only good up to a point. We'll worry about that later, because that's not right now. Don't worry about the later now. Worry about the now. Right? That's what we do. Might be able to shorten that up to pull that in a little bit too. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll gain our 1/16 of an inch hearage. Be a lot easier. Probably, I'm guessing. Let's weld. How do you know that's straight? Not gonna be like turning left, turning right. I don't know. Engaging turbo. Fully engaged now. That'll hold it. Good enough to hold the adapter on. Adapter Rooney. How do we line this up? I put a mark on it where I like it. And where I like it. So that's where we like it. How do we get it straight? That doesn't look very straight. Tack it and then see if it's straight. Turn a little bit. Kind of looks straight. This is precision machine shoppage. I feel like it's not straight. Let's just buzz it in there. Right when I was about ready to buzz it, your battery died. Of course. This seemed not so gooderage. Now I like it kind of there. Who cares? Let's put it on. Alright, we're just going to stick it on there and ignore the marks I made earlier. How's it look? What's that? You ever watch football? And there's a, I don't know, some dude talking about carrots, Peyronie's disease or something. I don't know. It's a terrible commercial when you're watching football. What if this has Peyronie's disease? Looks straightish to me. Oh, about broke it off though. I say we send it. That's what I say. Put down some metal. Should probably adjust that, but it's fine. How hot is it getting? Not terrible. Burn this bearing up. That'd be great. I have another one though, so still turns. Why we let that cool down a minute though, so we don't burn the bearing up. Oh man, totally on there. Maybe we can tie in our torque brackets here. I don't know what you call the right thing. Suckers are on there. This will give us some more clearance. We got all kinds of points that lock this baby down under the dash that we'll never figure out. Remember on the 65 I used the toilet or the sink plunger stopper after the first bracket broke. That's fine. So yeah, we got 3 points to lock this down under the dash now. I'm going to grind these off. Let that cool a little more. Uh-oh. Why is it not turning like it was? Dadgummit. Smoke the bearing. What's that noise coming from? And did we ruin that bearing? Sounds like it's in there. Is that noise there? Or are these doing something? Grind these off. I don't know what that noise is, but it doesn't sound great. That growly noise sounds like it's coming from this end. Maybe it just doesn't like being turned off. I don't know why it's off. I don't know. It's fine. Just be careful with that bearing. Don't let it get too hot, I guess. Alright, we're gonna add more heat to it because, you know, that's what I do. Maybe we'll let that cook a second. Of course, I'm too impatient. Let's just smoke the bearing. We're gonna call that good. So we don't burn it up anymore. Clean that up a little bit. Grind it a little bit off of this. Throw that on the ground. It's fragile aluminum, it break easy. But I am going to take a little bit off of this end. Disengage turbos. So that goes on there good. That still spins. It's good. Thing you need to put on first. Okay, we have that. That looks pretty good. It's good. It's good. Now what happened? Oh, there's a lot of play in there. What's this other bearing do? Where'd it go? So organized. There it is on the floor. Is that what this thing does? Is that like center it? Okay, it does center it. Okay. So now we're center-edged. Still turns. We'll grease everything. Let's go look at it in the car now. See what it does. Something like that. And something like that. That tippage will get tightened out. Where did our holder upper 4000 go? That's solid, but that is not solid. We're a little cockeyed, but will you center if I put you in now? You go this way. Oh, where'd this centering bearing go? Great. I feel like it should go on there further. Why are you not going on there further? I lost the other bearing. Oh, there it is. Found it. Go further. Get rid of that stripe anyway. Why aren't you going further? There it goes. And you put the centerer thingy in there, maybe. That doesn't want to stay in there because there's a lot of pressure on it because it's not centered. I have a little bit of a nub there for a steering wheel. Can we turn it safely? It's roughed in, okay? It's rough. It's rough. Slap you on there, what do you do? Not nearly far enough. This tube has to go further down, but it's hitting on its slottage. I think under here. What's this? How's that gonna affect things? If we move the slot, this slot on the tube to where it will slide down, because that's what it's catching on. Tab. It's gonna move everything that way, but that's where we are because that's where our shaft is. How's our shaft look? Our tip look? So I marked it. Probably in a little bit. Okay, we missed it a little bit. It's fine. So I think it should have been longer. The slot, I'm saying, if we move that down, that'll allow it to go that way more. So I say we extendify the slot. It's bad, we'll just weld it back. Let's extend. I'm gonna go extendify the slot. Slot extendified. Get into your slot. It's very scientific stuff. That fit better for whatever reason. Now test fittage. Oh, pretty close. Turns nice and easy. It's hard to tell. 1/16 of an inch range. The slot is definitely how you move it down. This tube system down. That's good to know. We're also gonna have to create a hole somewhere for the wiring, the turn signal wiring to exit. Hopefully there's room. Maybe that's why that inner tube with the bearing on the Toyota, maybe that's why that was removed. Oh boy, might be cutting a hole right there in the aluminum thingy there. But I think I'd like to extendify the slot probably a little more to give it a little more gap, or at least some play room there. So I don't even think this is really on there yet. Have I ever told you I don't do this stuff for a living? We do have a little bit of gappage there now, for whatever reason. Call that fixed. So let's see where we ended up. So I see I put the tip of that was marked there, and then the steering wheel. I wonder how close we came. Yeah, we're just roughed in. So yeah, the steering wheel's back a couple inches, or 5 centimeters for metric people. A couple more inches of belly room, which might be good. So I moved the seat pan back an inch. It looks fine. I stuck this. This is from the 65, I guess. I didn't use it, but I stuck this on the back of the electric motor. That's what this is. Just showing you what I did. Everything else is still the same inside. And then this one goes on it. Got that flat spot where a screw goes through. Hits that flat spot in it, so it's got some adjustability. I think we'll put it right. I think I'll have it right there. I'm just eyeballing it, of course, like I do everything. That way, if we have to move something in there, the motor can either go that way on it, or if we have to cut this shorter, it can go this way. This can go that way. You know, there's some adjustability if we put it like right there. And I'm gonna put the end of this shaft right there where that mark is, like it wanted to be there. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we're gonna cut the shaft again right there, and then we'll have fully connected power steering. And then we just gotta figure out how to lock down that motor under the dash from turning. I'm gonna cut, attach. I'll bring you back for the attachment. Okay, let's see if it works. See if it's gonna work. Oh, it's not gonna work. So this is 3/4 inch. This is not. So I gotta drill this out to 3/4 inch. It needs to be a little bigger. I'm gonna drill this out. We'll go over to the bench and show you how to do that. And then we'll weld this to that. And this goes on here somehow. Kind of like that. Perfect. Perfection. Something actually worked. Put this screw in there, and you can tighten it down. But this is how, when we get it all done, you basically disconnect this and you can take the whole system out. Or you can take your power steering box off, or steering box off. This is the only 3/4 inch bit I have, I think. I might have one downstairs. We're gonna try to do it with this because that's here. Not gonna work. We're already reaching the end of our joint. Well, I don't have a 3/4 inch drill bit. Home Depot does. $23. That's expensive. Amazon's got some cheap ones for like $8 overnight. So that's good. But I have this old Christmas tree bit. Surely these are still good. 3/4 inch. Can you cut these? I don't know. Probably not. But we're gonna try. I have a cutting wheel. I just need it shorter so it doesn't bottom out. It's bottoming out. They're too long hitting the bottom of this one. I don't know if it's a bad idea or not. Seems you can cut those. Shorten Christmas tree. It's fine. Put some juice in her. It's been doing stuff. $8 saved. We're through. Got a lot of metal savings in our U-joint. That's great. Now it'll fit. Hopefully there's enough room. Probably not. I can't get them together. Stupid reason, because there's not enough room. Just like I thought. Always something. Fits that way. This is the more important one. Does this fit? Oh yeah. You get the idea. Why it's so tight, other than I used a cut Christmas tree bit. Little shavings everywhere. I could get that on. Maybe I could get it to go the other way, but of course it won't slide on there. It's a tight fit. That's called machining. See how good this machine shop is in here? I mean, we get her close. That's because we scientifically measure stuff. All right, I'm gonna try to get this down further, and maybe it'll go this way, then that way. I don't think there'd be enough room if I jammed it all the way down there, because I'm liking the placement of this right now. I was debating on whether to create a flat spot like that one has for the screw to go through, but I think we'll just use a smaller bolt, pinch, weld, call it good on that end. So I think we'll do that right now. Weld this on, be done with it. And then we'll move back inside and either take it out and assemble it or move the motor enough to where this assembles. I guess we better do that first before we weld commit. I got this at an auction in Atchison, Kansas. I've never used it before. Been waiting for the day, but I think some of these will work to pin that 67 tube to the exhaust tube right through the U slot that we made. I'm gonna do that and I'll bring you back when we're under there and looking. Yeah, I get to use them. So if we can pin these together, and believe it or not, that X I made is like right there. So it's gotta be correct. What in the devil? Is that like stainless steel? Oh, I welded it. I'm gonna try to put the screw in there. That way it'll lock those two together somewhat. And we have one unified system that we can drop, stick it in, and rotate and do stuff. And figure out a lock bar for that. We are connected. What is this, 15th time we've done this? It's holding up there by itself, isn't it? Here's our holder. I mean, we're in. We're connected. Except this stupid thing. Man, that thing. Our center 4000 is really tight. There you go. It's getting dry. We're locked in there pretty good. Oh yeah. We're turning stuff. We're getting there. We're getting there, peeps. We're getting there. What I'm trying to say is we're getting there. So we're fully connected. But we gotta weld this now. I think everything's gonna work. And hopefully we're in for the well, I gotta take it all apart again. I think this is gonna work. It's like right in the middle of that flat spot, protruding a little. So we got a little bit of play. But I say we tack this in there and see if she wants to play. But we just need to do this and somehow anchor the electric motor to the dash somehow. So I figure that out. And that's it. We're in. We are in. We're gonna go under and look up there. We might have some luck going. Oh, right up here. I don't know. I'm trying to look. Okay. I don't know. You're very blurry in my eye because you're like sitting right on my eyeball. But this bolt is, that's our cable. Don't know where we're gonna put the module yet. We still gotta place that. Anyway, it looks like this is the brake pedal support. And I'm thinking this is one where the brackets that we pulled out just tightened into the case or nothing. That boss right there. What are those called, bosses? So we'll take him out and run a bracket, a nice thick bracket up to this square. I mean, that's pretty good. And then tighten, and that'll keep this from rotating when we power it up here in 5 seconds. No, we're not doing that because we got to get the bracket, but we'll get there. But look at that hole right there. That's pretty well lined up, just like I planned it. Just like I planned it. And we'll probably want a secondary one somewhere, but I say we go for a nice thick beast of something right there. But I have my box of brackets and stuff, so surely something in there will work. Before we commit anymore, that should hold it. Let's get her wired up. All right, let's wire up our power system. It's negative. A good thing I marked that. That must mean this is positive. Negative. These go to the battery. This is your 12-volt keyed ignition. This goes to the motor. Does something. And this one goes. Uh-oh. So it goes into this one. That's it. We got ground. Too many cables. Groundage. Got ground. I got these two. This is our 12-volt ignition and just the battery it'll go to. All right. Listen. You should hear a clickage out of something. Out of this. So she clicked. She's turning. That bolt down there. What's that noise? I hear a noise. Unhook the battery and see. What the heck is that noise? What's going on? Oh no, it's the refrigerator. What a time for that. Stop it. We're trying to listen. Come on, man. Come on. Let's not do that. Okay, take it easy. Take it easy. Man, what a quinky-dink that was. So it's exciting around here. Take two. So we have ignition, clickage, can't turn it. One finger turnage. Oh yeah, we got a bad situation going down there with that boot. It's not. Oh, she just like kicked out of there. That's fine. That bolt I don't like down there. It's too big. So I think I got to take that out. There's lockage. Oh, what was that? What is that? Might have been something underneath. Oh yeah, could have been that cork getting in the crushed. We got stuff under here still, so let's just skating around. Okay, we're fully leftage. She turns. Okay, now let's take it off. Clickage. I can still turn it. Well, it's definitely harder, but and I'm on metal wheels. I don't know what would happen if we took it off. I mean, I'm struggling a little. Ow. Okay, put it back. Back on. I'm pulling. Oh, there you can see with that 10-second mark how much easier it is. It's definitely easier. We got her. We got her. We got some issues under there. Oh, that door hinge off. Yeah, I gotta take that bolt out of there. I thought it was gonna be an issue. I'm just gonna put a littler one in there, pinch it, probably one there too. Finish welding, we'll reconvene and where we're gonna go next. We still gotta place the module somewhere. Doesn't matter where, as long as you get power to it like it's got. I'd like to get the tube painted, so that probably means taking it all back out again. But we can do that right there. She'll come off of there. The whole system will come right out. You gotta fight getting it back in. But I'm gonna finish welding that. Only warm now. It's in. It works. Perfect. I think I am going to call it a video for this guy. We have successfully installed it. The electric power steering for this 67 Mustang. We installed, I think it's a 2009 Prius. That's the last year you want to go up to, I think, for these. Again, I'll put a link into the really good forum that somebody figured all this out. No, I didn't. Somebody else did. A lot of other people did. Works great. But I'll show you what, I don't think I've showed you. I mounted the control module under there. I'll show you that. But I think I'm going to save. I was going to pull all this and paint it, but I think I'm going to save that for another video when we redo the interior and dash, at least, or the paint that's white. I'm going to decide on a color scheme for that. I do know I probably want this, I'm going to put the steering wheel black, so if we can black this out, refurbish all this, black the column at least. We'll save that for another video, cleaning up the instrument cluster, that stuff. I just don't feel like doing it right now. Like, you've seen every step to do this. It's not for the faint of heart, I'll give you that. And you're cutting stuff up and transplanting stuff back onto a car that's 50 years newer and putting their parts into a car that's 50 years older. So that's a lot going on, but it is very doable. I think it's for $200. You can get one on eBay. One of the best upgrades you can do to them. Again, the 65 I did it on has manual steering. This was an original power steering car, so who knows? It could be squirrely as all get out. I don't know. We won't know that till we go drive it. But it feels good right now with our motorcycle battery ignition. Get that off of there. It's just sitting there. I do think it could have been out probably another inch, but it's fine. It's fine. Who knows? It'll give me enough more room for my belly. So under here is where I mounted the control module. I just put one screw or one bolt through the fender well there. You can get it from the other side of the fender well. It's not in the engine compartment, but it'll be out of the way. That goes to the 12-volt ignition. Then we got to hook the battery cable up to that through the firewall all the way to the battery, at least the red wire, and the ground we can just ground somewhere. But I'll have to take all this apart again to paint it how I want it. That is completely functional right now. Have to run that wire to the battery. She's up and cooking. I'm pretty sure I showed you the brace. I did. I went from the back side of the motor there up to the brake pedal support. Worked out great. That works good. Again, haven't tested it, or we're only tested it on the dollies, so you know there's some bugs that could still crop up. I don't think they will. Don't think they will. It's in there pretty good. It's in here for now. I'll show you here's the steering wheel cover I'm going to put on it. Got this on Amazon. It had really good reviews. It's basically just a leather that wraps it. You can put in your wheel diameter, which that's I think 16, and then the circumference of the steering wheel itself, which is like 2 inches, 2.5 inches, I think is what it came out to. 16, and then 2.5, and you order this baby, you can sew it on there supposedly, but we'll do that when we redo the interior. I'm pretty sure I showed all that. It's all done. Electric power steering. How it's going to work with that devil, I don't know. But that's a wrap for this. I highly recommend it. It's scary, but it's not terrible. Not terrible at all. Super easy to drive them around with it. Fingertip control. So that leads us to, what are we going to do next? Boy, I don't know. We're basically down to 3.3 things. Engine, transmission, brakes, and then, you know, interior and bodywork, the other third. Stuff to do. So what are we gonna do? I don't know. I think we need to dig into that boat anchor, that blue boat anchor, and see what we need to do with that. Are we gonna rebuild it? Are we gonna core it? Send it somewhere? But I would like to know what's going on with it. I bought a bore cam, nice little bore cam where the tip goes in things and you can, well, do things with the tip. So we'll take a peek with that, so you see how invasive how not invasive, how see if we can see things without tearing it completely apart. I don't know why, but I would like to see in definitely the, you know, the board, the cylinder bores, of course, and anywhere else we can stick that thing. Plan on taking the, you know, of course, the valve covers off, see how the rockers look. Maybe one of them just fell off is why it was clattering. Take the oil pan off, see what's anything in that. And get some bearings off, or the caps off of maybe some pistons to see how they look. I don't know. That's where I'm leaning. We're going to dig into that engine, or under it there is a C4. Dig into that. But Nolan is wanting to really do that stuff. So, but I don't know if we can wait on Nolan to get back from school. So we got to keep our feet moving. We're about ready to fully load the parts can in here and see what we can do. Honestly, since that's a flat tappet, if I can rebuild it cheap, would love to do that. But you can really get a cheap roller engine that puts out more horsepower than that 2001. Really cheap. I mean, not really cheap, but nothing's that cheap. I wish I could say that's cheap, but cheap compared to like a Stroker or something like that, or a Coyote. To have a brand new remanufactured 300 horsepower engine, it's a pretty good deal. Again, I've never done it before, so I hate to go and rebuild that, throw aluminum heads on it, and then it just locks up. That'd be cool. I'm not sure I have that kind of cash to throw around when I could just buy a remanufactured that would last probably as long as I'm going to drive it reliably. But that then leads to the C4, which I am going to rebuild because I do have a rebuild kit for it already. I'm sure that will give us problems. That'll be fun. Be fun. We got to get brakes. Those are pretty easy. They just bolt in there. But we'll do a brake video someday. A lot of bodywork videos someday. She's getting there. So that's it. Electric power steering installed. Just got to route wires. Paint it up a little bit. Highly recommend electric power steering. Cleans everything up. Look, there'll be one wire running along here to the battery. One wire running to the battery. That's it for your power steering. That's it. Clears all this up. So it looks beautiful under here. Not a crappy old pump leaking everywhere. That doesn't do anything unless you rev it to 4,000 RPMs. So that's it. It's a wrap. I'm going to call it a video. Can't think of anything else. Don't play with the airbag in the new system though. All right. We'll talk to you guys later and see you in the next one.